After trapping the angel within his deadly poison, Lin Muyu gazed at her and let out a low, mocking laugh. "You should surrender," he said coldly. "This is the true poison of the divine. A false god like you could never dispel it." But as his words reached her, the angel's expression twisted with fury. She tried desperately to escape the swirling toxic mist. Yet her anger only grew stronger. Veins pulsed across her porcelain skin as she roared, her voice echoing with divine power. With a flash of holy light, the angel drew her radiant blade and began striking wildly in all directions. Each furious swing of her sword carved through the poisonous haze, scattering the noxious clouds that surrounded her. After a relentless struggle, she managed to clear enough space to breathe and stabilize herself. Yet her violent sword dance came at a cost. Lin Muoyu's skeleton warriors were being slaughtered one after another. System notifications echoed in his mind. 25 skeleton berserkers eliminated. 16 skeleton archers destroyed. 10 skeleton mages fallen. Watching from a distance, Lin Muoyu's eyes narrowed. With a flick of his wrist, he summoned an even greater army of undead. A dark chuckle escaped his lips. "Useless," he taunted. "I can summon an endless tide of undead whenever I want." Seeing the poison mist thinning, Lin Muoyu turned to his trusted servant. "Lich General, reactivate the poison." Obediently, the towering Lich General raised his staff toward the heavens. Green energy flared, and the deadly miasma once again swept across the battlefield, swallowing everything in sight. Skeleton warriors absorbed the poisonous aura, their attacks turning even deadlier as they launched a relentless barrage at the angel. Caught in the suffocating fog, the angel staggered. Waves of venomous energy pierced her defenses, draining her divine strength little by little. She screamed in fury and pain, "Damn this poison, my power, it's fading." The hero's eyes sharpened. His voice dropped to a deadly whisper. "To poison a false god to death will take time. I must ensure nothing goes wrong." He advanced swiftly, studying the battlefield with a calculating gaze. "The skeleton's poison now covers nearly 5 km. I never imagined the divine blood of the god of poison would be this potent." Inside the toxic storm, the angel writhed in agony, her divine radiance flickering like a dying flame. Moments later, the system delivered a cold, final message. "Holy Spirit angel slain. Experience gained, 90 million. Far away, in the holy church." An unsettling quiet descended upon the holy sanctuary as the scene shifted. Before a grand statue of a worshipped angel, devotees stood in prayer. Suddenly, a strange, green mist, eerily identical to the poison wielded by Lin Muoyu, descended from the sky. "What is that?" one of the believers cried out, a finger pointing toward the heavens in alarm. Before anyone could react, the toxic light struck the holy statue. Cracks spider-webbed across the marble surface before it shattered violently into dust. Gasps and screams erupted from the crowd. What happened? Why did the statue collapse? Panic spread like wildfire through the congregation. Amid the chaos, another voice cried out, "Go, inform the archbishop." The poisonous aura that had consumed the angel's soul in the lower realm had now manifested in the mortal plane, erasing her divine presence. Meanwhile, on a distant battlefield, silence enveloped Lin Muoyu. With a simple command, he dismissed his undead army into the void. The killing intent in his eyes slowly faded as he sat upon a jagged stone. Finally, "I've erased all those pests." With his enemies gone, he set his sights ahead. But the path was not simple. Before him stretched an endless, storm-racked ocean. Towering whirlwinds of lightning twisted violently across the waves. Yet undeterred, he pressed forward. For hours he advanced through the raging storm until a faint glow appeared on the horizon, an island shimmering with ethereal light. His eyes narrowed. That must be the wind and thunder continent. Consulting an ancient scroll, he muttered to himself as he walked. "From here, I should be only a few hours away from Wind Thunder Canyon. But what dangers will await me there?" Elsewhere, deep within the abyssal realm, the succubus queen reclined upon her dark throne. Shadows curled around her like living serpents. Before her, a trembling servant knelt. "Your Majesty," the servant said, her voice quivering, "Lin Muoyu has been sighted in the lower space." The queen's eyes sharpened instantly. She tapped a clawed finger against her throne and murmured, "Level 52. Yet he's already entered the lower layers." If that ancient being must have guided him. Her lips curved into a dangerous smile. "So he's made a deal with one of the old ones. Interesting. But since Lin Muoyu dares to wander alone, perhaps this is the perfect moment for the abyss to strike." The servant, Mina, paled. "You intend to kill him?" The queen chuckled darkly, tilting her head. "No need. The mark you placed on him still lingers, doesn't it?" "Yes, my queen." "Good. "Then go," she said with a sly grin. "Tell Cooley that Lin Moyu walks the path." In the lower space, a cunning plan was set in motion. A female figure with crimson eyes glimmered with malice as she remarked, "Lin Moyu has appeared in the lower space. He killed King Lai Chening's son. The king will not forgive that." While the demon emperor's orders were absolute, she schemed to let another fool handle the dangerous task of confronting him. Meanwhile, back in the mortal world, our hero, Lin Moyu, finally reached a new battlefield where chaos awaited him. Massive dragon warships soared across the sky, their cannons unleashing devastating blasts that split the air. Explosions tore through the ground as he narrowly dodged each deadly strike. Above, dozens of dragon warriors hover, but something about them felt wrong. Their movements were jerky and unnatural. Red threads of energy extended from their backs like puppet strings. "These aren't real dragon warriors," Lin Moyu muttered, his eyes narrowing as he realized they were being manipulated. The puppets roared and charged, wielding titanic dragon spears. Each was a level 70 dragon spear fighter, once proud warriors of the dragon clan, now lifeless war puppets with terrifying stats: strength 200,000, agility 120,000, spirit 10,000, and constitution 150,000. Their whirlwind sweep skill could shred entire armies, and their dragon blood granted them resistance to curses. Wasting no time, Lin Moyu summoned a vast army of skeletons to intercept the onslaught. Steel clashed, bone shattered, and the battlefield trembled under the force of the colossal battle. He clenched his jaw, his eyes dark with thought. Damn it, the dragon clan must have developed some way to mass-produce war puppets. His gaze hardened with grim resolve. If these level 70 monstrosities are being made in numbers, then humanity could be facing a disaster unlike anything before. Lin Moyu's skeleton warriors pressed on mercilessly, cutting down the dragon puppets that had once been living warriors. The puppets fell in endless numbers before his ever-growing legion of the undead. As the waves of automatons collapsed like ragdolls, littering the battlefield, our hero, Lin Moyu, barked in order. "Finish off these puppets first, then we move forward." Corpses of dragon warriors tumbled from the sky, slamming against the decks of the dragon warships. He lifted a hand, pointing at the fallen bodies scattered around the vessels and, with a single command, unleashed corpse explosion. The air was torn apart by a cataclysmic blast. Any dragon warriors caught within the explosion's destructive radius were instantly obliterated, and several warships disintegrated in the shockwave. The dragon soldiers perched on distant ships watched in panic-stricken horror before screaming, scrambling, and fleeing at top speed. In a single ruthless strike, Lin Moyu had cut down countless more vessels and soldiers. He chuckled as he watched the chaotic retreat. "Escaping," he muttered, shaking his head. "Their ships are too fast. I can't catch them. First, I'll go to Burial Thunder Canyon and fetch what the ancient Earth Dragon Chime needs. Then, I'll come back and see what's really happening." The scene shifted. Mana stepped through a portal, cool and confident. She pointed in a direction and announced, "I can sense Lin Moyu that way." Behind her, more monsters slipped through the rift. The elite squad of the Black Heaven Demon had arrived. They formed a menacing line, all eyes locked on Maya. One of them, more serious than the rest, sneered, "The Demon Lord is being overly cautious. They kill a mere level 52 human, she even sent our elite team." Maya's expression darkened as tension filled the air. "These fools," she thought with thinly veiled contempt. "They have no idea how strong that child really is." The monster who had spoken moved closer, his voice low as he asked, "Maya, how far are we from that kid?" He was Cooley, the squad's leader, the one dispatched specifically to eliminate our hero. Anna felt a flicker of amusement at his boldness but quickly masked it with composure. "I checked the map," she replied smoothly. "We should be able to intercept him before he reaches Burial Thunder Canyon." Then, with a sultry flash, she added, "Our people are eagerly waiting to hear your good news." She let her charm ability slip toward him. Immediately, Cooley's demeanor softened, his gaze locked on her with animal fixation, utterly captivated by her allure. Back on the road, our hero barreled forward at breakneck speed, muttering, "I haven't met any monsters along the way. Were they all wiped out by those dragons?" As he pressed on, a familiar scent struck him. He inhaled, a chill curling through his spine. This is the scent of a succubus. At that instant, Maya materialized before him. She laughed, delighted. "It's been a long time, Lin Moyu," she said theatrically. He answered without hesitation, his voice still. "Are you ready to die? Or are you going to suffer like last time?" Maya's laughter turned cool, then deferential as she began to bargain. "The Demon Lord sent me with a message for you, General Lin. She admires you deeply." Accept, and you can become the demon lord's chief consort. All her subordinates will be yours to command. Naturally, that includes me. Our hero's face contorted in disgust. He placed a hand to his throat, rubbing it as if to clear away nausea. I'm a human, he said, his voice laced with revulsion. Just looking at you makes me want to puke. You're all so disgusting. Ina's anger flared at his words. She ground her teeth, and snapped, if you won't accept the toast, then you'll drink the penalty. Behind her polite sneer, she thought, just wait until you die. At that signal, every monster arrayed to finish him surged forward, clustering behind Manhwa. Prilly stepped immediately to the front, baring his teeth. Manhwa, why waste words on him? He snarled. A mere level 52 human brat. I'll chop him up, and feed him to the demon hounds. Manhwa flicked a charm toward him. I trust you, she said. And Cooley's face lit with savage joy. He drew his weapon and howled, now you'll die by my hands, human. They closed in. Manhwa, positioned behind the horde, produced an abyss sealing stone and smashed it. Dark energy erupted, creating a magic array designed to counter summoning magic. Energy poured out and spread across the ground, the air thickening as the barrier took shape. Manhwa sneered at him, her voice laced with triumph. This is a sealing stone forged specifically against human summoners. With this barrier, any summoning, except that of a gut-level summoner, will be completely nullified. Let's see what tricks your summoning can still pull off. Rage flickered across Lin Moyu's features. Another barrier like this, he thought, then activated his skeleton armor. He felt a private satisfaction. My strength is already far from what it used to be. Cooley charged, weapon raised. His strike smashed into the skeleton armor, leaving hairline cracks across its surface. Seeing the fissures, Lin Moyu's expression hardened. This guy's power. It's like a lower-dimensional boss. The abyss really put effort into killing me this time. He reacted instantly. Bone prison. Jagged bone chains shot out with snapping speed, coiling tightly around Cooley and tangling the monster behind him. The surrounding demons screamed. This is a curse. From somewhere nearby, a devastating attack slammed into Cooley. He shouted, alarmed, these are dead skeletons. Manhwa, watching from a distance, went pale. Terror widened her eyes. Despite the sealing stone sent by the demon lord, Lin Moyu had summoned a horde of skeletons onto the field. She whispered in disbelief, impossible. How can he ignore the demon lord's sealing stone? Could he already possess the stature of a god-level powerhouse? How is this possible? When we first met, he was nothing but a weak ant. How much time has passed for him to become like this? Fear gnawed at her thoughts. She calculated on the fly, if I still can't kill Lin Moyu in 30 seconds, I'll run. Cooley refused to be held. He quickly activated a skill. Protective flame. Fire wrapped his body like a living shield. Incoming attacks struck the blaze and were destroyed in mid-air. Using that opening, Cooley recovered his stance. The bone chains that had bound him were incinerated and shattered by the flames. He raised his weapon, eyes blazing with hatred, and bellowed, now you'll die at my hands, boy.